Hello everyone and welcome to my CS24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I'm rooting for Rob Warne to find love again. These 90-day fiancé women could be his perfect match after Sophie Sierra split. Rob Warne has broken up with Sophie Sierra, but I believe he could still find love, especially with some of his 90-day fiancé franchise co-stars who are well suited to him. I wasn't a huge fan of Rob when he first appeared on 90 Day Fiancé Season 10. To me, the Los Angeles native seemed too immature for his age and quick to anger. My doubts about Rob and Sophie's relationship grew even more when she revealed that one of the main reasons she entered into a relationship with him was because he was of a mixed race like her. My opinion of Rob remained consistent during the following season, even after his marriage to Sophie. I believed he was a poor husband and felt that Sophie deserved better. It wasn't until 90 Day, the last resort season 2, that I realized both Sophie and Rob had their own flaws. I learned that neither of them was solely to blame for the downfall of their marriage. Rob and Sophie weren't well suited to each other, which is why therapy wasn't successful in helping them, ultimately resulting in their breakup at the recommitment ceremony. Rob may have ended his relationship with Sophie, but he still has the opportunity to form a strong relationship with some of his female co-stars. One such cast member is Ariella Weinberg, who recently separated from her husband Biniam Schreiber. I believe Rob and Ariella could be well suited to each other because they are closer in age than Sophie. Both Rob and Ariella are in their mid-30s, which allows them to relate to each other better as they both grew up in the United States during the same time period. Although Rob and Ariella clashed during Tell All, I believe that their American background makes them much more compatible. While they may not have grown up in the same region, they are both Americans. As such, they would likely have a better understanding of each other. They have both experienced failed relationships with foreign partners, which could help them relate to each other. In my opinion, Rob and Ariella have great potential as a couple. They are much better suited for each other than they were for their exes. Stephanie Matto is another 90 Day Fiancé franchise cast member whom I believe is a good match for Rob. As we know, Rob is a fun-loving man who enjoys living a glamorous life. He doesn't shy away from being himself in front of the cameras, as evidenced by his bold comments about Jasmine Pineda. I think Rob has great potential to build a fun relationship with Stephanie because they are very similar. Besides being almost the same age, Stephanie and Rob exude the same dynamic energy, as they are both equally bold. They are both social media influencers, and I believe they are both experienced at creating adult content for their subscribers. If they choose to collaborate on this type of content, it could lead to increased income for them. Building adult content together could be lucrative for them and potentially make them wealthier and more popular. Additionally, Rob and Sophie are also pet lovers, which is another aspect that makes them compatible. Their shared love for dogs could bring them closer and strengthen their bond. Jibri Bell's former wife from Serbia, Miona Bell, also appears to be a promising potential partner for Rob. Miona is older than Sophie, but is in her 20s. She is hardworking and has also started a small business in the United States. She is a busy businesswoman who avoids drama. I believe Miona would make a suitable girlfriend for Rob because they both dislike chaos or controversy. Miona prioritizes being a pet parent and pursuing her goals, just like Rob, who also enjoys being a dog dad and making business moves with his friends, Josh Weinstein and Jamal Menzies. While I'm aware that Miona is currently in a relationship with someone else, it's difficult to ignore the potential compatibility she has with Rob. In the event that she ends her current relationship, Rob could pursue a romantic relationship with her. I believe Rob and Miona could have a successful future together. Rob could help Miona expand her business by collaborating with Josh and his modeling agency to promote her ponytails. In return, Miona could help Rob heal from his breakup with Sophie by showing him the same love and support she displays for her current boyfriend on social media. There is no denying that Anfisa Arkhipchenko wasn't a good wife to her former husband, Jorge Nava. We all saw her chaotic personality on TV, including when she scratched Jorge's car because of her short temper. She also displayed signs of being a gold digger, telling Jorge how she was only with him for his money. However, not many people know that Anfisa has changed since her last appearance on 90 Day Fiancé. The Russian woman has worked hard to build a successful career in fitness, and has even become an American quietly citizen. Magnetic about Rob Warne. The way he carries both confidence and vulnerability like two sides of a coin he's constantly flipping in his hand. Maybe that's why, when I think about reality TV love stories, I can't help but root for him. Not just to be on camera, not just to play a role in a season's storyline, but to really genuinely find love. The kind that isn't edited down to a soundbite. The kind that doesn't come with captions or confessionals, but just exists in the quiet moments between two people who finally get each other. If you've watched 90 Day Fiancé, you probably know Rob's story. The model from California with movie star looks, charisma that could charm a camera lens, and dreams bigger than the apartment he once shared with a partner who questioned everything about him. His relationship had ups and downs, like most on the show. Moments of tenderness followed by tension, laughter followed by silence. You could see in his eyes that he wanted love to work, but sometimes two hearts can speak different languages, even if they use the same words. Still, there's something about Rob that makes you believe he hasn't given up on the idea of love, not completely. Beneath the sharp jawline and confident grin is a man who seems to crave something deeper than admiration. He wants understanding. He wants peace. He wants someone who sees him not as the reality star, not as the guy with the cool clothes and calm voice, but as the man who still believes in something as fragile and rare as forever. And honestly, I'm rooting for him. Because in a world where love is often performative, swiped, filtered, and hashtagged, there's something refreshing about watching someone who's been through public heartbreak still willing to put himself out there. It takes courage to love again after the world has already seen you stumble. It takes even more courage to stay open when it would be so much easier to harden. I imagine Rob walking down the sunny sidewalks of Los Angeles, earbuds in, lost in thought. Maybe he's thinking about where things went wrong, or maybe he's thinking about where they could still go right. He's probably had enough people tell him to move on. But moving on isn't always about forgetting someone. It's about remembering who you are without them. It's about rebuilding your rhythm, step by step, until your heart catches the beat again. I picture him one day sitting at a cafe, not because it's trendy, but because the coffee's actually good. Maybe he's sketching ideas, writing lyrics, or just people watching. And then she walks in. Not a flash of fame, not someone chasing a storyline, but someone real. The kind of woman who doesn't care how many followers he has. The kind who asks questions and actually listens. Someone who laughs at his jokes not because they're clever, but because they're genuine. Someone who reminds him what it feels like to be seen, not just watched. That's the love I want for Rob Warne, the kind that isn't loud but lasting. The kind that heals instead of performs. It's funny, isn't it, how we can root for strangers like we know them. But that's what storytelling and television does to us. It connects us. It lets us see our own struggles reflected in people who seem worlds away. Rob's journey might be filmed and edited, but behind the production lights is a very human truth. Love is messy, vulnerable, and unpredictable. And yet, it's what we all crave most. I think about the lessons he's probably learned along the way. How real love can't survive on attraction alone. How trust is built in tiny, consistent gestures, not grand declarations. How communication is more than talking. It's the willingness to listen, even when it's uncomfortable. Maybe he's realized that the right person doesn't just love your best parts. They stand by your flaws too, unflinching. Maybe that's what makes Rob's story so compelling. He's not perfect. He's not pretending to be. He's a man learning, sometimes the hard way, that love requires evolution. And that kind of honesty, that kind of growth, is exactly what makes him worth rooting for. Because at the end of the day, we've all been Rob Warne in some way. We've all loved someone who couldn't quite meet us halfway. We've all stayed too long, hoping time would fix what honesty couldn't. And we've all had to pick up the pieces and start again, quieter, wiser, but still hopeful. Maybe that's why I want so much for Rob to find love again. Because it would be a little victory for all of us who still believe in second chances. A reminder that heartbreak doesn't define us, it refines us. That no matter how public the pain, the heart still knows how to rebuild in private. So if I could talk to Rob, I'd tell him this. Keep your heart open, even when it aches. Keep showing up for yourself, even when no one's watching. Don't let one chapter make you doubt the story still being written. Love has a funny way of finding you again when you've finally stopped chasing it. Maybe the next woman who crosses his path won't come with drama or distrust. Maybe she'll be someone who's done her own healing, who's ready to meet him halfway. Someone who won't see Rob from 90 Day Fiancé, but Rob the dreamer, Rob the artist, Rob the man who still believes in connection even after the world watched his heart break. I imagine him smiling again, the kind of smile that doesn't come from posing for a camera, but from being seen by someone who truly gets him. A smile that says, "Yeah, I went through it, but I'm still here. I'm still ready. That's why I'm rooting for Rob Warne to find love. Not because I need another TV romance to follow, but because I believe in redemption arcs. The real kind, the kind that happen quietly away from the spotlight. Because I believe that every heartbreak, no matter how public,